I think we're going to start talking now. I think the servers are getting anxious with us today.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. I gotta use my notes. So the past 6 months, with all of its challenges, brought some really great moments with Mom. It was a good day when she was her usual feisty self, demanding hot, hot, hot coffee. Then we knew things were okay. She would often talk about planning a family gathering. Should it be at a park so the kids could play? Or should it be at a restaurant? Because then I could get my wonton soup. So, guess what? Restaurant. When would be the best time of year? It can't be too hot, can't be too cold. You get the idea. So, we needed to invite everybody. That's what she said. So she would say, don't forget so-and-so, and then don't forget so-and-so. Take a pause, and what about her? And what about him? And she'd just go on and on. I go, I got this, Mom, I understand. So as you know, we are a big, blended, modern family. We jokingly say we are not a family tree, we have a family bush. Don't even try to untangle the connections. Our parents' sense of inclusivity, I will always cherish. I think that's the greatest gift they gave us. So in our hearts, everyone that's in this room is our family. So we call them. Okay, getting back to the party planning. During her last month, her caretakers, they were so sweet, they would surround her bed, turn on music, and they'd have dance parties. Aww. So she'd be in her bed, dancing from the waist up, and when I'd come to visit, they'd go, she is the best dancer. She's so graceful. I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I don't think any of us are. I mean, it kind of stop there. Anyway, I digress. As the end neared, though, she would repeat, I want to be with my Bill. I want to dance with my Bill. I want to be with my Bill. I want to dance with my Bill. Could it be that as she was planning this party in her head and through many conversations, she knew she was planning a party she couldn't do. So this is her party. Welcome to Lucy's party. So now, oh, I missed it. So today we're going to celebrate Mom. We're going to eat. We're going to enjoy each other's company, share Lucy stories, and with the help of the Ruby Lee Quintet, who are eating their lunch right now, we're going to be able to enjoy some of her favorite tunes and things. So now if you close your eyes, bear with me, just close your eyes. Imagine Lucy, Mom, Grandma, Gigi, Auntie, and friend. She's flitting from table to table, sprinkling you with love and kisses, and welcoming you to her party. Okay, so next is Ted, and he's going to share some thoughts. And Deborah will follow with a poem she wrote, and then we have a special presentation for you.
Welcome everybody. My name is Ted, and Lucy was my mother, and I was her first son, very first son from her very first husband. And she had 3. So, in summary, that's what I'm going to be doing, is telling you about all 3 husbands. What a wonderful life Lucy had. A native of Patterson. Everybody say, yay! And it was the apricot capital of the world when she was there. And Lucy endured the pit of adventure and adversity 3 times. Her first adventure was with Raymond Wong Young. And Raymond lived in Modesto, 28 miles from Patterson. And there was a Chinese sage who said, it was only natural that 2 Wongs were right for each other. And Ray and Lucy were right for each other in 1949. And I came along in 1952. Ray and Lucy co-owned the very popular Chinese restaurant, the Cafe House, on 9th Street, Modesto, California. And that's the Business Highway 99, and it had railroad tracks in those days. And when I was 5, my dad suffered an aneurysm, a stroke, and passed away. And Lucy now was faced with her first adversity. She needed to provide for me. So she met Deborah Jang. He was the owner of the Capital Dollar Store in Modesto, a street over from the Cafe House. But he was recently divorced and had 3 children, Vic, Deb, and John. Please stand up. These are his 3 So Monroe, he needed happiness too, because, you know, he was without a wife. He had 3 children. And so along came Lucy, and then they married. I was 5 years old and soon had a new father and 3 new siblings. How lucky was that? And so we moved to Merced, California. He had a store there called Monroe's House of Fashion. Cynthia and Chris were born in Merced. Cynthia and Chris, stand up. So we got to fast forward many years. All of us were either married or out on our own. So this is many years after Merced. And Monroe, unfortunately, had Parkinson's disease. And both Lucy and Monroe decided to part ways to get a divorce. Probably Monroe kind of wanted to have a divorce so that Lucy can find new happiness without too much guilt or remorse. Since he had Parkinson's and it was very hard in those days, so he kind of gave up so that she can go forward. And during this adversity, Lucy had begun adventure number 3. And the old sage, Chinese sage, tweeted to her, "The 3rd time is the charm." So Bill Morgan, a widower, a retired Army captain, and resident of Pacifica, frequented Lucy's paperback book exchange and antiques. And Bill got to know Lucy, and she was his happiness, because he had 2 children, Kathy and Mike, but he didn't have a wife. And so she fulfilled that happiness for him. And they were married, and they both were at retirement age, so they enjoyed travel, antique collecting, and playing cards. Bill and Lucy lived in Cameron Park, finally, where Cynthia and Chris reside, and Bill passed of terminal cancer. Now, Lucy faced her 3rd adversity in life without Bill. So Lucy tried to turn her 3rd adversity into a new adventure, but fate would have it, she had passed away peacefully at 96. So in closing, in retrospect, her journey didn't end. It just became forevermore. Rest in peace. And now Deborah Jang, my stepsister, will give a poem.
Thank you, Ted. As Teddy mentioned, I met Lucy. I was 8 years old when I met Lucy, and Jonathan and I became her stepkids. And then we got an instant brother in Teddy and made many memorable adventures together. Then along came Chris and Cynthia to our everybody's delight. And meanwhile, our mother June had 2 sons, Gary and David. There's David right there. And with our stepdad Dave. And we would gather together as families on special occasions and holidays. So we all grew up in friendly familiarity. And through the years, the circle has evolved and widened and deepened. Lucy eventually married Bill, as Teddy said, and his daughter Kathy is here, and she became part of her brood. And through the decades, we have embraced each other's spouses and partners, and rejoiced with the births of each of our children, and now our children's children. And then you add in the various branches of cousins and in-laws and enduring friends and connections. It's just a very rich tapestry. Altogether, we, which is you, are an eclectic, organic, colorful conglomeration of individuals and characters in this expansive phenomenon we call family. So here we are gathered to celebrate Lucy, the supreme survivor, who weathered so many years and touched us all with her quirky, charming, gracious ways. My dear sister Cynthia has asked me to share this poem that I wrote in memory of her mother. Lucy. She liked her coffee hot, her home quite tidy, her children bright and handy. Her mother tongue clucked, Lunjun, Fi-de-laah, to keep them more or less in line. A mouser, not mousy, an eye for fine finds, generous with her treasures. Something to suit you, dress you in style, even if tight or itchy. The Chronicle she stuffed down ski pants, kept her warm during cold times. She danced through the years, teary and cheerful, with husbands and special friends in stride. Cunning and keen, spunky and playful, queen of hearts at the game table. She was the tiniest, tenderest, toughest old bird, our matriarch of survival. Round her table we gather and chatter our way through years seasoned and tasty. When time to go, no matter the hour, she'd turn off the lights. You'd oblige her. Good night, Lady J. Rest well with your Bill. Greet the ancestors. Give them a piece of your mind.
This is Tupilo, #1 granddaughter. She has a little song she wants to share with you.
Hello, my name is Tupilo. I'm singing Coco. Say the king, oh call me your fool.
Technical problem.
Say that I'm crazy, oh call me your fool. It seems that I dreamed about you. Open my mouth, walking out was a song. I knew everyone, and we all sing along. To melody play, the sing of our souls, and the rhythm of battle, the start to the bone. Our love for each other will live on forever. In every beat and flower for song, for each other will live on forever. In every beat and flower for song. Ay familia, origami gente, continent cold, let it be known, our love for each other will live on forever. Every beat my proud for song. Ay familia, origami gente, continent cold, let it be known, love for each other will live on forever. In every beat my proud for song.
Alrighty. Top that. Anyway, anyone's welcome to come up and share their stories with mom or your thoughts. Microphone here. Just one little shout out to my husband. I couldn't have done this without you.
I just wanted to say, I have the best sister in the world. She's carried the torch with mom for many years. I appreciate you. A couple things I want to mention. I want to acknowledge my lovely wife who's right now sitting over there. It's our wedding anniversary today. I think my mom would really appreciate the fact that we're all together and we can celebrate. So, I love you all. And she loves you all. So, let's eat and have some fun, okay? I was wondering if Daniel would be so kind for me and come up and maybe say grace. I just put him on the spot. Daniel is, I guess, Sarah and, what's that? Aunt P, so nephew.
Yeah, that's the family push I was talking about. I would like to bless the food in the name of Jesus. We just bow your head. God, thank you for this opportunity to remember and be together as friends and family. I personally did not know Lucy very well, but in our short interactions, I could tell she was a very kind and loving woman, very funny and very competitive. So today, as we just remember her, we pray that you'll help us to remember how precious life is and hold those that are dear to us very close. Help us to always give thanks for what we have and for those that are in our life. Please bless this food and this time, and we pray that everybody will get back to where they need to go and in their lives safely, and grant us great success. Be with us in Jesus' name.
This kind of goes along with the prayer. Lucy, when I first met her, I became Cynthia's friend. And then, even after I married her, I was still Cynthia's friend. And as the years went along and I became her gardener, her fix-it man, and other things, I finally became her son-in-law. And a couple of years ago, she told me I was now her son. I'm sure it's a great honor, because that's an honor that's given only by the person who feels it. And I tried to be a son with her. And then I want to say a little bit more. That not only was I her son, but she was my best friend. We were truly friends. She was my gambling buddy. We'd go gambling once a week, and we'd go out to dinner. And I truly loved her. Not only that, Lucy, towards the end, talked about Jesus and angels. And in fact, when she passed, she had an angel in her hand, given by Leona. And truly, she really did believe in angels. And a daughter, such as she had, but was an angel beyond belief. She gave everything she had. We didn't do anything without considering Lucy in our lives. She is proud of you. She loves you. And that's all I have to say. Goodbye, Lucy.
I am Kathy Morgan. I'm Bill Morgan's daughter, and Lucy was my stepmother for 36 years. I had a little story I wanted to tell. I knew Lucy from Lucy's Paperback Exchange. It was right down the street from my high school, Oceana.
Go Sharks.
And my mother used to go to Lucy's Paperback Exchange. She loved to read, and she introduced my father to the store. And then when my mother passed away, my dad, Bill, would continue to go to the store, and he loved antiques, and he wasn't into the books so much, but I think he was more into Lucy even than the antiques. So I was still living at home when they got married, and I came home from work or school or something, and they were in the living room practicing their ballroom dancing, and I came in the door and they stopped, and they both looked at me and they said, "We're going to Reno." And I said, "Oh, that's nice. We're getting married." And my only response, I was so shocked, I said, "Do you need a witness?" So that was the beginning of my life with Lucy. And just up until May was the last time that we saw her. And we all love Lucy, just like the song says, the show, the balloons at her 90th birthday party. We love Lucy, and we will forevermore. Thank you.
Jang. I am Victor Jang's wife, Victor, among the people before. And he's the oldest son of June, but Lucy was his mother-in-law. And I am glad to see that very few people here are wearing black, because that was not Lucy's style. I just said I was going to wear this. I was going to be really dressed to the hilt, because that's the way Lucy was. She was really, she always looked good. She put things together, and she was just I don't know, she lived life full. So we're going to miss her. Thank you, Lucy.
Oil wrap chicken and hot pickles.